Breaking news, real estate agents, brokerages found guilty, found liable in this case in Missouri. I'm going to go through this case. I'm going to talk about some of the things that have been circulating about buy-side commission, how it might change the real estate industry forever. People have asked me questions. How is this going to affect lending? Are lenders going to have to update how they structure loans and include a buyer side commission? All that and more in today's video. Stay tuned. All right, Matt Gouget, Matt the Mortgage Guy, powered by You Mortgage, licensed in 48 states. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com if you want to connect with me and my team. Get yourself pre-approved. Go out there and put together a great mortgage for you and your family. Greatmortgagebroker.com. Okay, in today's video, I want to talk about something that, quite honestly, the real estate side, I don't dig as deep as I do into the mortgage side, so there might be pieces that I'm missing. I'd love to hear from real estate agents, your take, what you've heard from your brokerage, what you think the future holds, so on and so forth. So today, October 31st, as I'm recording this, we see the news that Burnett versus NAR, which is National Association of Realtors. Jury says that they're liable. The defendants in this case, which are, the real estate brokerages and the realtors, liable. The plaintiffs claim that real estate commission rates are too high, buyer brokers are being paid too much, and the NAR rules, National Association of Realtors rules, and corporate defendants practices lead to set pricing. So I'll pull up a statement that was released from the National Association of Realtors. I will also pull up, they have like a questions being answered section here, which I think is valuable. Update in the case. After an 11-day trial, the 8-person jury in Kansas City, Missouri, came back Tuesday and found the National Association of Realtors and other corporate defendants liable in the case. This is National Association of Realtors statement, remember. This matter is not close to being final. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Might be able to read it better. We will appeal the liability finding. We remain optimistic that will ultimately prevail. In the interim, we will ask the court to reduce the damages awarded by the jury. I don't know what these damages were. I guess that's yet to be determined. In court, NAR presented evidence that consumers are better off and business competition is able to thrive because of their rules. Again, remember the ones that brought this lawsuit says that the rules that NAR have in place are leading to price fixing, and the consumer paying too much. What else we got here? NAR was formed 100 years ago because there's a need for higher level of ethical practice. We should all be proud that realtors continue to serve in that role. 1.5 million NAR members. Key questions. I think this is really good right here that they're just addressing the key questions. What are the next steps? Matters not close to being final. They'll appeal. What will be the basis? Can't speak to the specifics. We could say we have a very strong legal basis for appeal. Is there anything that realtors, brokers, state associations need to do differently? Not because of this verdict, but for many years, they've emphasized two important things. One is the use of buyer representation agreements, which maximize transparency by putting all agreements in writing. These agreements formalize the professional working relationship with client and detail what services consumers are entitled to. Second, it's also imperative for members to continue to express that commissions are negotiable and set between brokers and their clients. And so what does future of buyer representation look like as a result of the verdict? Verdict doesn't require a change in the rules, but if class action attorneys had it their way, buyer representation would be very much at risk because many first-time home buyers, among others, couldn't afford to pay for representation out of pocket. Now, there's a lot of speculation, and I'll just leave that kind of there. I'll put an attachment to this whole document with all these Q&A here. I don't want to just read all this stuff verbatim. I encourage Leave your comments down below, especially if you're a realtor, especially if you have, Coldwell Banker, Realty One, Remax, any of your brokerages, EXP, providing you guys with information on what, if anything, you should be doing different. I know real estate agents are like, what's coming? What's next? Is there going to be a world in which buyers have to pay like the buy side directly to the seller? Is that going to have to be financed in with the lender? There's a lot of uncertainty around it. And so I don't want to speculate on what's going to happen, but I'd love to have a conversation around it. I would love to have different perspectives from different people in different parts of the country who are likely hearing different things. Weigh in. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think it's going to look like in 2024 and beyond. There's also Q&A type stuff in this NAR article that talked about, an agreement that was reached with the DOJ 2 years ago. That is a separate matter from this Burnett versus National Association of Realtors. But, from my boots on the ground perspective, it is a difficult time for a lot of buyers. And so to have any type of regulation, legislation that comes along that makes it more difficult for buyers would be, I don't want to say catastrophe because I'm a pretty optimistic type of guy, but imagine a world in which first-time home buyers who are struggling saving a down payment, struggling with affordability around how much they can pay on a monthly basis. Imagine a world where we also tried to have them bring to the table 2%, 2.5%, 3% of the purchase price. That is the buy side commission. I don't think that is reasonable to expect. And I don't know. There's some people that are telling me like buy side agents are gone. Well, then what happens? People represent themselves, and they go into these transactions with nobody guiding them and helping them, connecting them with a great inspector, telling them what type of contingencies to put on their offer. I don't know. I don't know what comes of this, but I'm interested to hear from those involved on what you see going forward. Time will tell, right? And I think it'll all sort itself out. Lot of to be determined type things involved in this. So give me your take. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this the beginning of the end for buy-side agents? Is this going to be something that affects the lending industry? Is this going to be something that is a detriment to buyers in the future? I want to hear it all, the good, bad, the ugly. If you want to connect me and my team, go to greatmortgagebroker.com. I look forward to talking to you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.